It's coffee break. Another week, another day.
Slow week.
Yeah.
Not much happening announcement-wise.
No, it's going to be a smaller podcast this week. Mm-hmm. I still realized that I wanted to talk about certain things, and instead of holding off the week, I was like, we'll talk about those things.
Yeah, get caught up on some things we missed last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with Transformers. Mm-hmm. I just did a review for Transformers, the first movie, 2007.
It was really good.
You can't call it Transformers 1 because the new one comes out. That's the title of the new one. And it comes out later this week.
Oh, I thought it came out already.
No.
Ah.
There was an early screening. Bad reviews.
Dang. Every early screen... I don't know how much you can trust early screenings because some critics are so, especially with like I imagine this movie is aimed towards younger audiences, and some critics are so like boring and lame about them.
Yes. And it's all CGI, and we have a new cast playing them, even though this takes place in the same universe as the live action ones.
I'll be 100% honest. Who's voicing Optimus? Chris Hemsworth, right?
Yes.
He's doing a good job.
No, he's not.
But it's very, very, very noticeably different from the classic
From
Optimus.
Peter, yes.
Who's been Optimus in everything ever since the dawn of time.
Since the dawn of Transformers. I didn't talk about the voice actors in the movie. I just didn't feel like there was a need to bring up
I mean...
that, because you got the classic guy playing Optimus, but then you got Hugo Weaving playing Megatron.
Yeah, all three of his lines.
Yes, and Megatron doesn't do anything. And the thing that's bothering me the most, after watching that movie and knowing that this is a prequel, the guys who worked on the special effects of the original film, and I think they do it throughout the rest of the live action ones, was Industrial Light and Magic.
Cool.
They also came back to do the fully animated movie.
Nice.
How'd you mess up their faces like that?
I think they wanted to go more classic, like the old school.
Yeah, they almost look like Power Ranger dolls.
A little bit, yeah.
And yes, it is Hasbro.
I bet it helps them. I bet it helps them be more expressive this way.
Probably.
Like you can actually see them smiling and blinking, and it's not just like, what is that mass of shapes? I think there's a face in there.
Keegan-Michael Key will play Bumblebee in the Transformers 1.
He's gonna do amazing, because he does amazing in every movie he does. It's just a shame that not only movie, but lots of TV shows, they never go anywhere. He does so well, and then it's like, eh.
Do you remember that sitcom he did?
Yeah.
Reboot?
Yeah, and...
With Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, that was surprisingly really good.
It was a weird, surreal take on burned out actors trying to come back to Hollywood.
I wonder why they got, specifically Chris Hemsworth, to be Optimus, rather than just getting his classic voice actor.
Again, I think they're supposed to be kids.
This is a thing I was thinking about, and it's about Borderlands, specifically.
Go for it.
I was thinking about how old...
Claptrap.
Yeah, how old the cast is, and how they look nothing like their characters, because they're all so old, and how they don't act anything like their characters, because these actors are so old, they just do their one thing, and they play it the same way every time, because that's their shtick.
Yep.
And I was thinking about it, and I was like, the only reason that movie got those actors is because the people producing it, the people in charge of it, didn't think the name Borderlands
was enough.
Yeah. In their mind, they needed these big A-list actors to sell the movie, because the franchise on its own wasn't going to do it. And so they threw to the wayside everything about the franchise, about Borderlands, about its lore and characters, and instead just got whatever A-list celebrities they could find, to the detriment of the movie.
I saw a trailer for Borderlands, and it was a please watch this movie. And the whole point of the trailer was, look at how stupid and dumb this movie is. And I was like, wow, that's not good.
That is not how you
And
want
then
to...
I saw a scene of Claptrap pooping.
Yeah. I don't know why they got Jack Black to voice Claptrap.
Don't worry. If we're upset about Minecraft and Borderlands, we're going to get more upset later on.
Oh, God.
It's something from the beginning of Coffee Break they announced, that Hollywood announced, and now they're moving forward with it.
Okay.
Let me finish the Transformers thing, okay? So, yeah, doing that review, it was fun. It was fun to get back into the seat again and ride that ride.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, it's there.
Going back, too long of a movie.
Yes.
Too much human in that movie.
Super over-sexualized. Sam Witwicky has, like, moments of bravery.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, this wasn't defined.
Very directionless, I would say.
Yeah. I cut out all the wacky agent stuff because I was like, it's too much. I don't want to talk about how weird this secret sector, or how they're hiding the cube next to Megatron.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yes, and then they're like, yeah, so President Hoover moved Megatron from the Arctic Circle to here. How?
Magic?
Like, they were able to transport B, but that was during 2007. He's talking 1930s.
Yeah.
You don't have that equipment.
Another thing, okay, this is the worst scene. It's right, we've just got introduced to all of the Transformers. We got the whole team now. Mm-hmm. We have just met them, and then we spend, I'm gonna say, 15 to 20 minutes on a way too long, excruciatingly unfunny scene where the Transformers bumble around his backyard, obviously.
Yep.
And his parents are oblivious to the giant robots destroying their front yards. And there's, like, shenanigargles with him, like, being like, guys, you need to be calm and quiet. Just hide. And he just won't shut up. Shia LaBeouf is just improving for his life nonstop.
Yeah, I cut a lot of that out because I was just like, I don't care about it. It's just boring, annoying things. Mm-hmm. Basically, I just group it into, it's a kaiju mech film where they make this classic mistake of putting too much human into it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, the producer of Transformers, he was talking about the future of it and said that Transformers 1, if it does good, there will be a sequel.
Cool.
And then he said that there's a message, like some heartfelt message in the film, I'm guessing between Optimus and Megatron.
Probably.
Where he said if that's received well, that'll change the outcome of the rest of the series.
Ooh, that could be fun.
And then he was talking about the G.I. Joe crossover.
Yeah.
He said 2025 or 2026. And I was like, first of all, no, 2025 is way too soon.
Yeah.
And you would have to reboot all your G.I. Joes all over again. Because I don't even think... do you remember what the last one was?
No.
Snake Eyes. It was a standalone spin-off film all about Snake Eyes.
I don't... I'll be honest, right off the bat, I don't super know much about G.I. Joe. Mm-hmm. Because I found them incredibly boring. They're just military dudes with some superpowers. Or the bad guys have superpowers.
They just have cool technology.
It's very not up my alley. Give me, like, magical ponies and swords. I don't want military dudes. Yawn.
Yep. And I wanted to point out that in the review, I do say that the writers wanted to make a G.I. Joe movie, but things moved on and they went to Transformers.
Yeah.
It explains why there's so much military stuff in all these Transformers movies.
Mm-hmm. It really does. I mean, it's just like that same, all the 80s things. They keep trying to resurrect the 80s classics over and over again.
But these guys were doing it in the O's.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That was only 20 years ago.
But also, it worked back in the O's because we hadn't seen it yet. Now we're in the 20s, and every single schmuck has tried to reboot Ghostbusters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and every single other 80s classic you can think of.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action is on my list.
It's confusing how, like, persistent the Ninja Turtles have been. Mm-hmm. Like, there's been, like, 7 different reboots and reiterations, and from what I can tell, the fan base loves all of them. But I don't know why they keep rebooting it.
They're going to make a new one next year called Ronin.
Yeah, because I thought they just had a new reboot, like, a year or 2 ago.
They did.
I don't understand. Okay.
From what I was reading, Ronin is a sequel to TMNT.
Wow.
Do you remember that one?
I do.
Yeah, and I was like, that was one of the cooler movies.
It was.
If you don't know this one, it's a fully 3D animated film where you really get to see Michelangelo
Yes.
and Raphael.
No, Leonardo.
Leonardo and Raphael get into it.
Yes.
And there's a divide, and that will eventually create the Ronin.
That was like the first big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing. Like there was the 80s movies, the live action ones, and then there was that one. And that was like the beginning of like, yeah, this is cool.
The coolest comparison that you can make between these two, Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is that they're both owned by Paramount.
Yeah.
And Michael Bay helped produce and create the live-action spin-offs that went nowhere.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So I just found that more interesting. And it explains why those turtle movies are just kind of weird.
They really are.
Okay. Margot Robbie
Oh, yeah?
will be the lead star
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
in a live-action Sims movie.
What could it possibly be? Sims is just life. Unless they do someone playing a video game, like someone gets sucked into the video game.
Wow, have we done that before?
But yeah, but like a billion times Minecraft. There's like the only thing you could reference about The Sims is like deleting the ladder out of the swimming pool so your Sims die. It's all just killing the Sims. That's the only thing people know The Sims for.
Also, why Margot Robbie? Because she played Barbie?
This is her like directorial debut, isn't it?
Oh, she's the director of this?
That's what I heard.
That's terrible start.
Like maybe she has an idea. It's this thing. It's half we're just gonna regurgitate all the 80s classics, and half we're just gonna regurgitate all these 80s classic toy brands.
Mm-hmm. I heard a funny quote from Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Where this director came up to him at his hotel room, and he's like, I have this movie, it's my first time directing, I want you to play his character. And Orson Welles was like, no, I never do a director's first movie. And the guy goes, but you did your own movie. and Orson Welles goes, who am I playing? He goes, a magician. And then he goes, can I wear a cape? And he's in the movie.
That's adorable.
Orson Welles was a character himself. I really enjoy hearing stories of him.
I saw a clip. It was like commentary for Lord of the Rings, specifically Return of the King. It was Sean Astin and Elijah Wood doing commentary while watching it. And they're at the scene where it's after Shelob. And Frodo wakes up and he doesn't have the ring on him, and he's like in the Orc Tower, and Sam saves him.
Yep.
And Sean Astin was asking like the director about like the scene, and he's like, where's the lighting coming from? Because I thought we were in like a super dark, like there's clouds and everything. Where's the light coming from? And Peter Jackson's response was, the same place the music is coming from. And I'm like, that's a good answer. Light your sets.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't care about Sims. I'm sorry. I'm not here to make much offense. I remember when this news first came out, I made fun of it, and there was a comment that was like, hey, screw you. Sims is everything. That was like 3 or 4 years ago.
I think Sims is super boring. I think it's a dumb, boring game. I'm sorry.
It has its fan base, and I get that, but I don't think that this is what they want.
No.
I think you should just make the next Sims.
That's the thing. Things that don't... I saw that. People were clamoring for that.
Yeah, they've been clamoring.
Just because it works as a video game doesn't mean it's going to work when you take away that player interactivity element.
Yep.
That's the thing a lot of these companies don't get, is like... Some games have stories. Like, you could do a Zelda game, or a Zelda movie. You could do, like, God of War movie. Lots of games can be movies, but not all of them. And Sims is kind of one of them.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that?
Yeah.
It's been way too long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid that one's dead, but not everything should be a movie.
Yeah. Some things can just be games.
Like, we saw trailers for this new show where this woman, she's a single mom, but she's a detective, a homicide detective, but she drags her baby onto these crime scenes because she's a mom.
They really
coming
ran out
this fall on CBS.
They really ran out of ideas.
When we saw that, I just started laughing. I was like, that is the dumbest idea. We ran out of everything, didn't we?
I was thinking about Dr. House MD. Did you ever watch House?
No.
I watched way too much of it for how not good of a show it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it. I was like, what was the draw? What was the premise? And I was like, House is an asshole. He's a jerk. He's mean. He's rude. And I guess that was the original gimmick, because back then you have like ER and Grey's Anatomy, and it's always like, we're gonna fight and save you. I'm here with you to be your support. And so having a doctor who's like, no, you're a dumbass, was like the new gimmick. But that's not a very good gimmick. It got 8 seasons, so I guess it did something good.
Yeah, that's weird. Moving on. Mark Waid?
Okay.
Okay, he's a comic book writer. He's known for writing Superman's comic, Kingdom Come.
Okay.
He went on a podcast this week, and he started talking about the Superman movie coming up, James Gunn's, right? And said that there will be a super dog in it with heat vision, but stopped short of naming Crypto.
Oh, why? Are we renaming Crypto? Is it a new dog? Is it like the same idea of Crypto, but they wanted a different like breed, and so they like legally can't call it Crypto because Crypto is supposed to look like that white lab type deal?
Well, I was thinking crypto as in the currency.
Oh.
And there might be a confusion there that they want to move on, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, Crypto the dog was there long before.
Yeah. Krypton, Kryptonians.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards.
It plays into it.
It is a dumb name, I'm gonna say. Like, I'm Clark Kent, the Kryptonian. Here's my dog, Crypto. That'd be like if I was like, here's my dog, Earth. Because I'm an Earthling.
Hey, look, Batman's dog. God, I hate acknowledging that this is a character.
Ace?
Ace.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I love the super pets. I'm so into them. I like it when they're funny and dumb. Like give Flash a turtle.
Yep. So, Agatha All Along dropped this week. Super excited to watch that.
Oh, was it today?
Yes.
Oh boy, I am excited.
So by the time you're hearing this, the first 2 episodes are out. It's going to run throughout all of October. The last day it premieres, the final 2 episodes, is October 30th.
Is it 1 episode for the next week's?
Yeah, so it's 2 episodes now, 1 episode all the way to October 30th, the last 2 episodes. 9 episodes total.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I
too.
hope it's good. I want it to be good.
Well, you guys know I love the MCU, and I probably love it for all the wrong reasons. But I'm excited to see it because it's a one-off and now I don't have to be emotionally attached to anything.
I just want cool witch stuff. I'd be happy with that.
And I'm also into... When Disney does witches, they go hard.
They do.
Look at Hocus Pocus.
No one else does witches as good as Disney, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's one guy who did witches and he went way too hard with it.
Oh.
And it's called The Witch or The Vavitch. But that's not what we're here to talk about. No. That film has a different meaning.
Good film. Watch it with subtitles.
Yes.
You will not understand a word they're saying.
Yeah, that New England accent that they have. Oh, but it's an old New England accent.
Yes.
Nintendo.
Oh, yeah?
Nintendo won its lawsuit against a Chinese knockoff company that was making a Pokemon game that was called, like, Pocket Monsters Fake.
Oh, okay.
They won.
It's crazy how many of those are out there.
Yes.
Wow.
You can go on the App Store and start downloading them.
100%. If you can find like the faces of so many, not just Pokemon, but like a bunch of.
I found apps made by Chinese developers that have Pokemon on its pictures, or Dragon Ball characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't do that, guys.
Or when it's like slightly off. Like it's Charmander, but it doesn't have the white tummy. It has like a cross on it or something. Or it's something like it's a girl with a orange hair side ponytail and a yellow crop top, but her name's like Swimmy, not Misty.
This one's Fog.
See, her eyes are a different color, so it's a different character.
And every time she sounds out, it goes...
Just have a full foghorn every time a character speaks.
Speaking of foghorns, the guy who made the witch... Sorry. Okay.
I expected a leghorn reference. Foghorn, leghorn.
Oh, I always forget about the frog.
What? Are you talking about Michigan J. Frog?
Is that not his name?
His name is...
Froghorn, Leghorn, or whatever?
No, Foghorn, leghorn is the chicken. The large rooster with a deep southern accent. You don't know Foghorn, leghorn? Did you not watch...
But we're talking about... Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still in the same sphere.
Completely different characters. Wildly different characters. One is a chicken, one is a frog.
Well, we got our episode title now. One is a chicken, one is a frog. So now Nintendo has won this lawsuit and they shut them down. Mm-hmm. They are moving on to Power World.
Oh, they're tackling Power World again?
They filed... it's coming.
I think Pal World's designs, a majority of them, I think a majority of them are different enough where Nintendo doesn't necessarily have a leg to stand on, but they would win because they're Nintendo and they have all the money. Yeah. So, that's a shame.
Also, the people who made Pal World decided to team up with Xbox and not PlayStation, so burn.
What did they do? Just get rid of some of their designs? Change some of them?
Destroy. Build a wall. I'm sorry. Okay, last week's question was about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Are you guys going to throw down money? Are we ready? 94% of you said no.
Yeah.
And I get it. I totally get it. I was trying to figure out just financially and logistically.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense for me to do this.
Especially because it's just a PlayStation 5 again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you're not going to get new games that are exclusive to this.
Nope.
It's just get a PlayStation again now with more money and without a disc drive.
So the disc drives, this is interesting. Scalpers have been picking those up like crazy.
Yeah, that's the other bigger problem.
Yep. So now they're going to start scalping you for those disc drives. So are you willing to spend... when did I get my PS5? 2021?
Yeah.
During the shortage, I dealt with a scalper. Uh-huh. I bought mine for $1,000.
Yes.
But I needed it.
Yeah. You had to play Resident Evil.
I had to play Resident Evil Village. And if I didn't, I would have died of FOMO.
True.
And I would have. I would have just crippled and spiraled out. And this podcast would have never existed.
I'll be honest, Village is worth it.
It was. It was worth the whole $1,000.
It really was. On top of the 60 you bought for the game.
Yeah. And then don't forget all the stuff I've done for Power On. Mm-hmm. Meaningless. It's all about Resident Evil Village, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Didn't even need Resident Evil 4 Remake. No, I just thought that was interesting that there is no upside for us as consumers to upgrade to a PS5 Pro.
Yeah. Also, it's been...
Not everyone has a PS5.
No.
But those should hopefully drop in price, which should allow you to move in closer to your dreams and goals.
Yeah, when did the PS5 come out?
2020.
Yeah, it's been 4 years, almost 5 now. Mm-hmm. Everyone's talking about next-gen consoles, and PlayStation's over here being like, we dusted off the same one you already had.
So what's going to happen here with consoles is Xbox is not going to move forward with their console thing.
No.
They're done. They're just going to make games, which is smart.
Mm-hmm.
Sony has its own plan, obviously.
It sure does.
I think in 2028 is the release window for the PS6. Okay. Don't hold me to that. Again, they haven't announced it, but they're currently working on a PS7. We know this.
That's so dumb.
And Nintendo is about to announce The Switch 2.
If people keep saying that, I think if they were going to, we would have seen it by now.
Well, for a long time, the Pro was a myth.
Yeah, but Nintendo's different. Nintendo isn't dumb like Sony.
You're right. Nintendo bullies people.
They really do.
Did you steal my franchise? I will take all your money.
I don't care. Give me all your
Is
pals.
that a green dunce cap on that kid? You better change it. No, not a baseball hat.
No, we own elves.
All of it. Tolkien owes us.
So yeah, not surprised about the PlayStation thing.
Yeah, that was funny to me. Okay, and then sorry, I'm moving around with this. The Emmys. What is there to take away?
I don't want to. I don't.
So I could sit here and read everything off to you guys like I usually have. Critters over here just so anxious for me to do this. We're not going to.
I really don't care.
The only things that we need to look at and understand as kind of interesting is Shogun walked away with a substantial amount of awards.
Which it definitely deserved.
It does it because I can only finish half that show.
Well, that's on us. There was tons of quality and effort put into it. You can tell.
Okay. Fine. The Bear did not win Best Comedy.
It didn't.
Nope.
Is it because it's not a comedy and it shouldn't be in that category?
So it lost to Hacks, which is an HBO comedy series.
Hacks?
Yeah, it's the one with Jon Snow.
I have no idea.
Every time you turn on HBO, you're going to stare at Jon Snow sitting in a three-piece suit.
Okay. I believe
we've never
you.
watched it. It's not for us. Yet. I said that about Secession, and then I watched all of it. And White Lotus, and I can't wait for the next White Lotus. They're going to Thailand?
Doesn't it happen soon?
Yes.
I'm so excited.
So, the other interesting thing was Baby Reindeer won awards despite the unsteady ground on which it's based on.
Yeah, there's also some legal stuff happening after it came out.
Yep.
So I'm glad it won awards. I think the dust has settled with all of that. I think everything got solved.
Well, as we know in the American justice system, things move slow.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to push something back just because they want to just not do their job because they don't do their jobs very well.
True.
No matter what side you're on, you know I'm right. They could just be pushed away into oblivion.
Yeah, it's true, which is crazy. We won't talk about it.
Yeah. And then Jon Stewart won for The Daily Show. Sorry.
Good job, John. Deserved.
I thought it was cute.
Nice.
Also, Jon Stewart, just sitting down and listening to him talk, fascinating.
He's such a good speaker. He is so well researched. It is good. He deserved it.
So, talking about the Emmys, do you guys think The Bear is a comedy? I could ask this as the full series so far, but I really want to talk about just season 3 because of the Emmys.
Yeah.
Because I love season 1.
Season 1, 100% a comedy. You want to know one of the funniest moments? And it's so, like on paper, it doesn't seem like it would be a comedic scene. But it is. It's when they're at the barbecue, and, like, later in the episode, they end up drugging all the kids on accident.
Yes.
Before that, he's like, cooking, and some guy approaches him, and he's like, I thought you died. and he looks at him and goes, no, sir. That was my brother, Michael. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's, like, the way they do it, it's so surprisingly funny. That's a comedy.
I remember it's after that scene, or before, it's during that party episode, where one of them's dressed up as a hot dog.
Yeah.
I think it's Cuz.
They're struggling with the hot dog thing.
and then the bear gets mad at him and just starts beating him up in the hot dog costume in the parking lot. But they're like wrestling around like little kids trying to fight each other.
Season 1 was a con. The third season, there wasn't a shred of joy or entertainment to be found.
Season 2, there's some awesome things going on.
There are.
It's very like, if you're a film person, a cinephile, you would love some of those episodes. Some of the dialogue, the angles, the lighting, the story itself.
Well, you could tell we were going somewhere. The scenes were leading somewhere. Season 3 is just
It's all over the place. It meanders.
It's half a sentence. And you can tell that it was only supposed to be 3 seasons, and then they got a 4th, and so they stretched everything out, and now everything's just half complete.
Here's something I don't understand, and I've said this before. Season 3 and 4 were supposed to be filmed back to back.
Yeah.
They're saying they still have to film season 4.
Well, yeah, because they got so big, they all got a bunch of...
But that was the point of filming them back to back.
Oops. Cuz has to go be the thing now.
and I'm like, if it's true that you do actually still have to film season 4, you can fix it. You have time.
True. I'm not going to hold my breath. Season 3 was really disappointing.
Yes. So, do you guys think The Bear is a comedy? Specifically for season 3. Mm-hmm. Okay, box office trolls.
Box office trolls.
Beetlejuice.
Hooray! Good for them.
Speak No Evil.
Oh, it finally came out.
This is a weird one. I want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm not really there for the story.
I don't think it's going to be, like, compelling. I think it's going to be pretty basic and easy to predict.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll surprise us.
I'm curious more about the actors. Mm-hmm. Because I actually like all 3 of these actors. We got James McAvoy.
Yep.
Known for playing Professor X in First Class.
Mm-hmm.
And the following sequels. You got Scoot McNairy.
Yep.
Known as playing the guy that Bruce Wayne saved in Batman v Superman, and then he defaced Superman before his chair detonated on him.
Was that actually him?
That is Scoot, yes.
Wow.
No, Scoot was in *Halt and Catch Fire*, which is an AMC show.
A very weird, obscure one.
Oh my god, it's a hidden gem. If you can flip that rock over, you're going to have 4 seasons of awesomeness.
Oh, what's his name?
Lee Pace.
Oh, what a beautiful human being.
God, he's so hot.
It's a gorgeous person.
It's okay. He's into that.
Like, no wonder he's an elf king. Like, yeah.
Yes, Lee Pace played Thranduil, Legolas's father, in the Hobbit trilogy.
He was also in that one weird sci-fi thing we watched over the summer.
Yes, he's Day. It wasn't summer. It was last winter.
That was winter?
That was winter.
Time is an illusion.
Foundation, where he is dawn, day, and dusk. He's mostly day.
Yeah. Is that going to happen again soon?
It will come out soon.
Okay, cool.
He also played everyone's favorite Marvel villain, Ronan the Accuser.
Oh, he was. You can't even see how pretty he is because of how much crap he's wearing.
But you can see how tall he is.
That's true.
And in *Halt and Catch Fire*, they had a female lead. So there was 3 of them, right? The holy trinity we got going on here. Yeah. And that was Mackenzie. I can't remember her name. You would also know her from Terminator Dark Fate.
Okay.
She played the main character in that one.
She's also in Speak No Evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And McNairy and Mackenzie are acting as husband and wife. Mm-hmm. And just my love for that show, *Halt and Catch Fire*, to see these 2 together is kind of cool.
Aw. I'm excited to see James McAvoy as a villain. He's been a villain multiple times, but you can tell he enjoys it.
He's a good villain. He's a good guy.
He's a good actor.
Which is weird because when he's Mr. Tumnus, he's very sincere. When he's Xavier, he's kind of a loser.
Yeah, good acting. I saw an interview. I don't know when this was, but someone was like, "How do you feel that you're the only British person who never got to be in Harry Potter?" And he was like, "I don't know why they don't like me. I'm here. I'm enjoyable."
But he's in Narnia.
Yeah.
It's even better.
Better. Only the first one.
Yep.
The good one.
Number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Good for them.
There's just nothing to stop it.
It's gonna hit streaming soon. Like early October, I think. I think I saw that somewhere.
Okay.
Good, which I'm all on board for. I keep seeing people bitching and complaining about things leaving theaters to hit streaming soon. And they're like, this is why theaters are failing. And I'm like, there are many reasons why theaters are failing. Mostly because it's not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Having streaming be an option is not going to ruin this problem. It's going to help save movies. Because people will watch them. And then you'll get your money. Having them rot in a theater for a year is not going to do anyone any favors.
No, it's not. Number 4, this is the title of this film, I swear. Am I Racist?
Yeah, that dumb, ugly loser made that movie.
Who's that?
Some racist.
Oh, nice. Number 5, Reagan.
Okay.
Number 6, The Killer's Game. I would call it Saw. Number 7, Alien Romulus.
Cool.
Number 8, It Ends With Us.
Oh.
Number 9, The Forge.
Okay.
I don't think Anatar's in there, so I don't really care. And number 10, God's Not Dead, In God We Trust.
They made another one? No way.
There's 4 of them now?
Is it that same girl? The one who used to play Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Is she in them?
She was like the lead person in charge of producing them. I don't know.
Then why did she play Sabrina?
I don't know.
Especially when, like, in that first season, she's staring down.
Let me clarify. 80s. An 80s, 90s Sabrina.
Oh. I was thinking of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Not Netflix Sabrina.
Yeah.
The old one.
So that one's just anti. So there we go. That's Box Office Trolls.
Woo.
And we've talked about Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to say?
About Transformers? Nothing I haven't already said.
Okay. Only Murders.
Yeah. We've got caught up.
Yep.
We're on episode
4?
I think.
I think so.
A good season. Twists and turns. Better than last season.
All I can say is I proved you wrong.
With what?
I told you that Ant-Man was coming back.
I didn't.
And he did. He came back. He's a different character.
He is.
They found
it's clever.
It is. I was not even upset. I was like, that makes so much sense how he's able to come back to play in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And that was too smart. It was funny.
It was funny. They're very funny episodes. They're funny forward. I like the little one where he has the like brightness on his tablet too high.
Yeah.
That simple little things.
And then he's yelling at the tablet to turn it down.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know how to manually do it.
It's better than last season, for sure.
I will say this, Mabel being the millennial and being a millennial myself, I don't know what I'm not connecting or resonating with that. You're trying too hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's that the writers don't know what to do with her or what. Like, she's still a fine character. She's always been a bit like...
Yeah. But she's been in this rut for 4 years now.
Yeah. Like, we're still looking for a house.
Find a paddle.
Yes. I don't know how many more seasons we could have of the show, also. Like...
I hate to say it until one of them actually die.
Well, not only, like, there can only be so many murders in the building, but also, these characters can only go so far, and we're kind of nearing the ends of their developments. You know, we've already had to retcon some of their developments just for this season.
Yep.
I don't know. I like the show, but I don't know how many seasons it could get. I would say 5 total.
You
Maybe
think
6.
one more season?
One more, if 6 max. After that, you're really pushing it.
Let's just see how it plays out.
Yeah.
And then next up is the Rings of Power.
Yeah, so we didn't talk about it last week because we didn't watch the recent episode in time.
Yes, so we caught up.
Yes.
We're now fully caught up with the show. But 2 weeks ago, I asked a question. And the question was about which one is your favorite storyline?
Yeah.
This was, again, 2 weeks ago, so things have changed. Not what I wanted.
Gotta find it.
So it's pretty even between, well, here's the options. The Stranger and Nori, Galadriel and Elrond, Adar, Sauron and Celebrimbor, and Durin the Fourth and Disa.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody voted for Galadriel and Elrond or Adar.
I don't blame them. They are some of the, not the weakest, but they are some of the weaker plot lines. Really tells you how many plot lines there are going on. Because you didn't even have...
Numenor.
Yeah, Numenor or Theo and...
Oh my... I memorized his name last week, and then because we never watched it, I just forgot it.
Isildur is there with him.
Yep.
the other elf guy.
Elf Dad.
Yeah.
The interesting thing here is that Galadriel and Adar, from where we're at, are kind of talking about teaming up.
Yeah, funny enough, these two things have blended together.
Yeah, and I guess maybe the writers also knew no one cared about these storylines. Mm-hmm. So if they intertwine, maybe they'll be more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess together they are more interesting sounding than they have been individually so far. Mm-hmm. Everything else, who won?
No one won.
Was it a three-way tie?
It's a three-way tie because 3 is the number of perfection.
So yeah, what the heck was he talking about in that latest episode?
We're talking about Adar. First, I wanted to start with the stranger and Nori. Mm-hmm. The stranger, Nori, and Poppy are out wandering because the stranger's looking for his staff.
Yeah.
And he runs into Tom Bombadil. Mm-hmm. Who was not Tom Bombadil enough for me.
I appreciated the direction they went with for him.
He is simple. Mm-hmm. And he talks about old times, about not seeing the sun.
It's this, yeah.
Like the stars never existed.
It's a very cool character to, like, see, but it's when they sit there and talk about, like, the dawn of time and how ancient and endless they are. Mm-hmm. And then they turn around and he said, quote, "I'm a wanderer, not a warrior." And it's like, you could stop evil, though.
He is very powerful.
Like, unless there's a specific, like, law in place against you doing these things, you should not be sitting there idly watching as evils devour lands.
Yep. I like that Tom took a knife and stabbed the map that the stranger had and handed it to him, and it was bread.
Yeah. And
then when he lit up the candles on his fireplace, kind of redundant there, but when he lit one, they all simultaneously sparked on.
Yes.
And I was like, that's cool.
For being a show that has had magical elements in it before, they do a very good job making Tom feel magic.
Yes, he is very magical, and he is with the earth like he should be. Mm-hmm. But then they start talking about this evil wizard.
Yeah, the dark
the
wizard.
The Mothman prophecies.
Yes, it's very much, it's a problem I have, which we'll get into with some of the other stories as well, where it feels like it's just mimicking the same things Lord of the Rings already had. Mm-hmm. Specifically, I feel like the rings...
Oh, is this where Gandalf learns to speak to the moths?
Oh no, that would be cool.
Oh, brain blast.
Oh no, but yeah, like the rings just feel like smaller versions of the One Ring. Yeah, like with whispers and the like obsessiveness that we see, and I think it's more disappointing with the ring thing because we also already just had this with the dwarves with their stupid Arkenstone. I'm tired of the dwarves. I'm tired of characters being obsessive about this little shiny doodad. This is a whole world of magic. Anything could happen to them. Why are we still doing this? And the Dark Wizard feels, again, just like, oh, we had Sauron in the last one. We need another Dark Wizard for this one.
Yeah, Sauron Light. I mean, I can come up with a million names for this guy until he actually reveals himself. Mm-hmm. He'll still be Mothman prophecies. Galadriel and Elrond, that makes no sense.
I really liked, not the latest episode, but the one we missed last week. I liked that one.
So, what I wanted to talk about in that one was what was missing from this... What do you call this?
List? Poll?
Poll.
Yeah.
Is the Theo, Isildur... And Papa Elf.
Yeah. His name begins with an A.
Yeah.
And sounds like Adar and Anatar, and there's too many A names in the story.
I think it ends with an Endir.
Yeah. Elf is a slight elfish spice.
But they go off to go find Theo because he went missing. Mm-hmm. And you find out that the Ents have taken him because the Ents are showing up for warfare.
Yeah, we see an Entwife.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Yippee. They're still around. And I liked her name. Her name was Winterbloom. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because she had like whitish pink flowers when her blossoms were coming in.
Yep.
And the way they fell, it looked almost like snow. Mm-hmm. And that's a fun name, and I liked her.
I like that there's a whole serpent thing in the mud.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, okay, there's monsters here.
And suddenly it's Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I was thinking Monster Hunter.
A little bit.
but then that was super fun. It was just an adventure with action and monsters.
See a glimpse of this magical world.
And then at the end, Isildur finds out that this girl that he's been hitting on actually has a fiance.
Yeah.
Which I was like, what a lackluster ending.
It's also so lackluster that I would do all the stuff for you at the prospect of me hooking up with you eventually. But now that that prospect is out of the question, I need to, like, emotionally distance myself from you.
Yep.
Lame.
Men.
Yeah. We got to see the Barrow Downs.
Yep.
It was everything I wanted it to be.
They're pretty creepy. But the elves solved it really quick.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a dope fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
When it's just itself, it's at its best. And that's why I think the Numenor, I mentioned it last time, but the Numenor plot is the weakest because it's trying so hard to be something other than Lord of the Rings.
So let's just dive into Numenor.
Oh, so boring. It was so much of this latest episode, too.
I have so many complaints. First of all, I can't remember anyone's name.
No, there's a million of them.
Second of all, there's only 3 locations.
Yes.
4 if we really want to get technical, but they haven't shown that 4th location since the last season. Mm-hmm. We've got the throne room.
Yeah.
We got that random, like, walk.
Yeah.
And then we got the ritual temple thing.
Yeah.
Where a big event will take place. And then there's the room with...
like the Palantir.
The Palantir.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like, I know they're working with sets, and they have only a limited amount of space that they can work with, but I think of Gondor, a city already comprised of primarily just very narrow hallways, and we still was able to make it feel like a whole city. Numenor feels like a street.
This is where it feels like that CW and then that Game of Thrones idea that they have for it is not working well.
But Game of Thrones can also make their sets feel big, make the castles feel like they have numerous rooms. Like, I don't know. And it's only Numenor where it's a problem.
Yes, it is. It's truly just Numenor.
I don't know why we're still sticking around Numenor.
This plotline should have ended a while ago.
It's dumb because you die. The Dunedain go away. I know what happens to you.
Yeah, that has to happen fast.
Like, it's the thing with Khazad-dûm. I know what happens with Khazad-dûm as well, but I'm intrigued to see how we're gonna get there because there are echoes of these characters that I do know and recognize. Elrond specifically, deep friends with these characters. Gonna have to see what happens with Khazad-dûm and his friendship with Durin. But all the Númenóreans, except for Isildur, because he goes on to be Aragorn's great-great-great-granddad or whatever.
Yes.
All these other losers I do not care about because I know they end up just dying, so all their quibblings about politics is pointless in the long run.
Yes. I'm more curious of what that thing is inside the mountain.
Do you think it's the Balrog?
I think it's too preemptive to make this the Balrog. I think you should have some other monster in there. But then Durin, King Grumpy Dad, was talking about the power of the ring that he got and how he can see through the mountain.
Yes.
So he should know it's there.
If there is, I don't...
But he won't. He's too greedy. He's just thinking about the gems.
He's just thinking about that Arkenstone. I mean...
The Arkenstone's not there.
Yeah, it's the other one. Dwarves. Oh, dwarves.
I'm surprised not, when he held that council and gave them the rings, there was no mention of Thrain.
Well, he hasn't given the rings yet. He's just gotten messengers to tell the other dwarf lords.
That he has the rings.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so then, I don't know if Thorin would be alive at this point.
I doubt it. That's the thing. It's hard to gauge what timescape we're working with. Because, like, the events of the film trilogies are supposedly thousands of years in the future. But, you know, and I know elves and dwarves live for a long time, but we're still seeing characters that theoretically we'll see way down the line. It's weird. It's weird stitching it all together.
It really is. And then Sauron and Celebrimbor. Sauron is clearly using his magic, but he's only using his magic against the people, the common workplace people in the Forge.
Yeah.
He's not using it on Kel. Yet when Celebrimbor has brought the news that these dwarven rings might be evil, all Sauron has to do in the guise of Anatar is tell him, perhaps it was because of us doing this.
Yeah, I did like how he was able to twist it on Celebrimbor. He made Celebrimbor think he was the problem.
Yes, and makes him double down on the idea of making the 9 rings for the men. But Celebrimbor, in that moment, looks so weak. It's not magic that changed him. It was just the twist of the tongue.
It's a thing, like we were just saying with Tom Bombadil, and also earlier when we talked about, like, did he make it rain to make it more sad for him, so Celebrimbor would be more inviting for him to stay?
Yeah.
I want moments like that. That subtle, like, he's so on such an otherworldly level, you wouldn't even consider he's casting some sort of spell, because it's such a, like, it feels like so naturally ingrained into your society, you wouldn't think someone could summon this kind of concept.
Yes.
But, I don't know. It's also neat seeing him just emotionally manipulate people. I feel like they struggled to write conflict with this scene. Like, they knew these scenes were really important to show, but they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, you do feel that, because Celebrimbor does hold, or tries to hold, Anatar accountable for this. And then Anatar does this weird, like, pause beat, right? He shifts his eyes, and he goes, "How could you think it was me?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what that was.
The actor did better as Halbrand than he's doing as an elf.
I think his contacts are killing him.
Maybe.
I don't know. Every time I see him, his eyes are just wide open.
Yeah.
You know, like they're burning. And he's like, "Oh my god, can we just finish the scene so I can get these things out?"
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm unsure.
Where do you think it's going to go in the next episode?
I hope we go back to the Stranger and Tom Bombadil. Specifically, Poppy and Nori have been separated from him.
I forgot about that. There's other hobbits.
Yeah.
Who talk about a myth or legend that ties into the Harfoots.
Yeah. Eventually, they'll find the Shire, eventually.
Yeah, clearly we're building towards that.
I want to see them, like, re-find the Stranger again. The Stranger is this plotline that I'm most interested in, and them, like, also being there is another interesting element to it.
I'm interested in how Rivendell elves think that they have to fight Adar and Sauron. Well, Adar is now trying to team up with them.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. An army of elves and orcs laying siege against Sauron. That's a pretty big spectacle, you know?
How many episodes? 8 total?
There's 8, yes.
And we just finished 5. So yeah, we gotta start wrapping some things up.
Yep.
Theoretically. It's such a shame. I like Durin and Disa. I like them so much. I think they're cool and fun. And they just have nothing to do. They can just sit idly by and watch as Dad Durin makes, like, ring mistakes.
True. That's kind of just the point of the movie or show.
Yeah. It's the slow corruption of evil.
Yep.
Which is not displayed well. Like
Sauron has to win.
Yes.
That's the end of this. So
he has to eventually win and succeed. Because I know how the movies begin.
I know how the real story goes, yes. What are you doing this week?
It's the giant Trevor Project stream this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It'll be really big and really fun. I'll open that up, I think, tomorrow as soon. So by the time you're watching this, it should be up for you to, like, jump in. Any and all help and support is greatly appreciated. Even if you can't donate money, spreading the word is cool. And we'll go over everyone's OC animations. All of them. It'll be a great marathon. I'm excited. Everyone did so good. I can't wait.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. For me, I've got Stellar Blade. It's wrapping up. This is it. It's over.
Yeah.
I haven't beaten the final boss, but I already know enough to tell you that this thing is so wacky. I think it's part 19, which will be the final part. Whichever one's the last number. That will be the final part. So if you guys want to skip to the end, go ahead. If you've been writing along, just know that this is the ending.
Crazy.
Yes. And it came up on me really quick. Because basically it was just boss fight, exposition, final boss. And I was like, oh.
That JRPG classic.
Yep.
And you sit there and wonder, am I doing something wrong? Am I supposed to lose?
I do die a lot.
Am I supposed to have more health potions?
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know how to be stronger. I already maxed out of some of my stuff. And the final boss has one-hit KOs.
Ugh, one of the 7 deadly sins of gaming.
Yep.
Ugh.
And it's not a giant monster I'm fighting. That's all I'm going to say. So, I also am going to do another film review for Tuesday to celebrate the 20 years of Saw.
Yay!
I've wanted to do a Saw review for so long. I'm currently on my second draft of it that I'm going to scrap immediately after we finish recording this to write a third draft.
Nice.
But I'm excited because Saw is something different and it's not like the other movies.
I like Saw a lot. I think they're cool. All of them. Well, the first one especially is very good.
I'm talking about just the first one. As we keep going with Saw reviews, like I made the joke that I'll do one a year. And I'll be able to finish it in like 2036 or something.
Nice.
Because Saw 11 and inevitably 12 and a reboot will show up.
Of course. Oh, a reboot. That would actually be crazy.
It would be. I'd be like, I'm going to judge you really hard. So I got that coming up. Hope you guys are having a good week.
Yeah.
Oh, I made one mistake.
What mistake?
I was in a grocery store. Walmart.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that. And I made a weird turn and found Christmas Land.
Yes.
And I felt this emotion inside of me pulsating from my chest. And it was wonderful. And I loved it. And as I kept going deeper into it, I found more and more Christmas stuff. To the point where I was like, I have to leave. It's Halloween time. I have to leave. I can't be here.
Christmas boyfriend and Halloween girlfriend. The never-ending war. November is when things really get crazy.
So yeah, the Christmas stuff's coming out, and I thought, it's way too soon.
It is, but also, companies aren't doing very good. You can tell Disney especially, because they started pumping out Christmas trailers and commercials like 2 weeks ago. Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got their, it was like one day, they're like, come to Disneyland for our Halloween spectacular, spooktacular.
And the next day,
it's Christmas time.
Book your hotels for Disney Christmas.
Yeah. So I hope you guys have a good week. This was not a short podcast.
No.
I tried. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.